We're not doing the clap, Dan. I got rid of the clap.
Well,
it's 2020.
It's not Audacity.
It's been eradicated.
Yeah. It is July 20.
Wait, am I in the middle of the broadcast? This is a bad call, Tim.
It is July 20, 2020. This is Atlanta United FC Weekly, a Home Before Dark podcast.
Don't even introduce me. We all know why he's here.
I am Tim Herb, as always. I'm joined by my lovely co-host, Mr. Kevin Bradley, to my, on my left, on the right on the stream, left on my person.
Number one in your heart.
Number one. Oh, yeah. No, he's not. We're being joined by OG, unprecedented, as Brian says, Dan James. Welcome back. It's been way too long. I don't think you've been back on since the birth of your third boy, have you?
Probably not. No.
He's 18 now.
It's been freaking ages. Yes.
He's 18 now. He's
so
driving.
Now we can do everything remotely. Then, yeah, it's a lot easier.
Exactly.
Yeah. In England, his new son can drink. How about that?
We've been forced to adapt, just like every other workspace. We're like, no, you can't podcast remote. You can't podcast from home. What are you thinking?
Right. Exactly.
Now look at us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seriously, though, now.
Yeah. Seriously though, over the years, it's crazy how much easier and better it is to do this remotely now than it used to be. And it's a lot easier to do it completely remote than it is half and half too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's definitely easier if we're all three remote versus two in studio and one remote. I mean, you're always going to be held accountable by the internet connection speed though. And if you've got somebody that's going to drop out, it's always going to be a problem. So
it's always going to be Dan. Anyway, thank you guys for tuning in on this lovely Monday night. So good to have you guys. Brian, Richard, Gordon, Kendrick, Brock, Elliott, Beaven, Brandon, Scott,
speaking
Dean,
of new babies,
Will Bowron. Congratulations.
Speaking of babies,
Will.
Exactly. Congratulations, Will.
Will Bowron.
Bowser.
Freshly minted father. Congratulations. Cheers. The limoncello spicy water and Kevin's bullet. Or is it
Widow Jane tonight. What are you on, Dan?
Some Legend.
Okay. Was that Scotch? What is that?
No, it's bourbon.
I have never seen or heard of that. How is it?
It's Legend.
It's pretty. Sorry, Tim. Legend. Yeah, Legend.
Yeah. He plays for LA Galaxy, right? Sebastian Legend.
That's right. Yeah, Legend.
Yeah, he's on the US team for a while.
I'm glad we could all come on here and mourn, stroke, kind of celebrate Borussia Dortmund's brand new signing, £25 million. That would be Jude Bellingham from Birmingham City. But it doesn't matter because all the money's basically just going to go to China. And I'm pretty sure if Wigan win their appeal, then Birmingham City are going down to League One.
What did Birmingham? Where do they belong?
What a shit. I actually agree with you, Kevin. You probably do agree to live.
That'll be a first and last.
Did Birmingham field like an illegal team or something?
No, we've just... pretty sure every year we've had a financial fair play. Oh, no, that's it. We've lost too much money to stay within the EFL rules. So
just need to hire some of Chelsea's lawyers.
That's right. Well, Man City's lawyers.
Let's
face it. They're not going to be able to.
I'm a huge EPL fan.
Either way. Champions League ban, transfer ban. It doesn't matter if you got money.
Right.
Yeah. So, Tim, first time I've seen you since, and I've given you a lot of shit about being a Liverpool fan, but congratulations.
Thank you.
On them finally winning the championship. Just had to get rid of Steven Gerrard, and now they did. Yeah.
And I don't know if you saw they gave Curtis Jones Steven Gerrard's original number, 17 today. He's going to go in next year.
Oh, really?
With the number 17. That kid is good. Anyway, I don't know. It feels like I was talking to Kevin about it. It felt weird. It kind of, I think definitely the break dampened the feeling, I think, a little bit.
But to be fair, I mean, they basically had won the league before COVID hit anyway.
Yeah, but I'm just glad they didn't cancel the season. But it sucks not to get the point record, but it is what it is, I guess.
Well, what you going to do?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Even if you have the point record, Arsenal fans are probably still going to talk about the time they had 11 draws and didn't lose in a season or whatever it is.
Right, but I mean, who cares about the point record or a supporter shield when you can win an MLS Cup?
Mm-hmm.
It's true. We have one.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
It'll suffice for a while. Yeah, if it's like Liverpool, we could wait another 30 years, I guess, for another one. I don't know.
Well, at least we've got one. At least we've got one. That's all that matters. We've got the old whoa star. There we go.
There it is.
There it is.
Yeah, I don't have mine on mine.
That's okay.
Older jersey. Yeah.
Is that New Mexico?
Yeah.
Sweet.
How are we feeling, boys?
I am quietly confident.
No. About tomorrow? No.
What? Why not?
Why? I have way more reasons why not than I think you probably do why so.
Yeah, I mean, we've had a very crappy, I'm going to say past 3 games. Like the last 3 games, we have not been very good. We were humbled in Mexico in the Azteca. And then we were beat. I mean, I think we played pretty well against the Red Bulls. I wasn't that worried about it. Well, after we played them, I saw like Pity played great. I was interested to see how we progress from there. And then we just shat the bed against FC Cincinnati.
And I'm really glad I made the claim that Mulroney should get or would probably be starting over Bello. Really glad that happened. That was awesome.
Let's talk about lineup real quick, and I can pull up. Let's see. We did this last time, Dan. This is what this gives us too. It's kind of a nice. This interface gives us the ability to.
Oh, look at that!
Pop up who scored onto the screen.
The good thing is they can't demonetize us for this.
Because we make no money. We broke.
I know that's surprising to people that we don't make any money.
Yeah. The aforementioned Mulroney with a 4.9 on the ratings.
It's higher than I thought it was going to be honest.
Okay, so for real though, Kevin, you did call that. The main thing I want to talk about is why, like, Bello was a personnel decision. He didn't even feature in the 20 or 23 or whatever the amount of records.
That's shocking to me. That's really shocking.
I feel like the problem with this game was that we got really too cute with the lineup to begin with. We vastly underestimated Cincinnati. Not that they needed to do that, but we were like arrogant about it. And I guess because from what I read, FDB didn't dress George because he wanted to save him for Columbus. And he said he was going to rotate the squad, but to not dress him for being one of our better players against the Red Bulls, I thought anyway, was bizarre to me, especially having 2 keepers dressed on the bench.
The other thing that was weird to me with the lineup change was in the midfield, having Remedi and Lorenowitz, where, I think my biggest criticism last week was that there was so little movement in central midfield, and you have 2 sort of holding defensive midfielders in there where neither one of them are sort of remedying that situation at all. I didn't understand what the thought process was going into this game, and I don't think we ever really got to see what it could have been because Mulroney goes out. I mean, he goes out, in the 23rd minute? So they don't even really get to find their stride or develop anything without the entire lineup having to get shaken up with Adam John coming out shortly thereafter.
So the bizarre thing about Mulroney's cards were the defense kind of had the 2 plays covered, even though it would have put Miles and potentially Meza in bad positions, but it didn't. I don't think it warranted the acts that he did. But the first one was just ludicrous. Just like flying straight in completely late. But then the second one, it seemed like if he had just stayed on his feet and ran with Gyao, he would have overtaken him or at least kept up with him and be able to put a block in. He's 19, right? So I'm hoping that this has been a very good learning experience for him, and to maybe just trust his feet a little bit more, that he can slide by guys and potentially rely on the other members of the team to clean up a mistake, rather than just get himself completely removed from the game.
Yeah.
Did you say Mulroney's only 19? That's not right.
No, it's not. Well, how old is he, Tim?
24. He's a veteran. He should know better.
Maybe it's a case of he's only 19, but his mind is older.
Oh, I like it.
Other way around?
I like it. Fitting.
Shut up, Tim.
He's 19 in his head.
He's 24. Oh, dear.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you got to learn. Maybe you hadn't learned that lesson at 24. I knew I don't know anything at 24 anyway.
Why do I feel like we just can't beat a team with Kendall Waston on it?
We did. Because
know.
we beat him like...
Ugh.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know.
If we're staying over on the left area of the field, I was looking in the chat. Will was saying the Bello rest story cannot be real. I mean, I agree to him with Will. All we can do is just take it from Frank that's potentially, what was going on. I mean, Bello's had a ton of injuries. He's also had a ton of time to get over those injuries. It was just a very frustrating thing. I hope there's nothing, any bad blood going on between him or Frank, but I would assume because Bello is 19, right?
Yeah, I doubt that.
Frank should want to play him.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one of the reasons why he was brought in, to help build up our academy and to get younger kids coming through to improve the pipeline so we can have these lower wage players and complement them with the TAM and the DP players.
Oh, speaking of academy and Atlanta United 2, did you guys see the latest striker signing for Atlanta United 2?
Mm-hmm.
What's
Genius.
That? Yeah,
Eric
yeah.
Lopez.
I guess to get him ready for the 2021 season. It's a good call.
I'm surprised. Can they do anything to loan Dam to the twos to get him some? I mean, they probably can.
I mean, I think the idea is to have him playing this year. I mean, why would you want to do that?
Well, to get him some minutes.
I see what you're saying.
I don't know.
Yeah,
because the next games after this tournament, the next games are at least not going to be for a month, and if they are going to be playing anyway,
have about as much rest as the rest of the team after tomorrow night. So it'll be good.
Well,
so we still have. I was keeping tallies. I think Mike Conti had a great thread on Twitter of like the scenarios, what has to happen in order for us to advance.
I can't even read them. It's a joke.
But so far, everything has gone according to plan to get them.
There's no way. There's no way.
I'm going to try and pull up Mike Conti's. Here, I'll take this off the screen real quick. And try.
Yeah, we don't want to see your search history.
No, you don't. Lots of stuff about how to compile and break down videos in FFmpeg. It's very boring stuff.
So going to the
Not
trap,
exciting.
there was a couple of good comments, and I think probably my biggest frustration right now with the development of the team in this season is how little growth I think we've had or development we've had in a consistent goal scoring or chance creating player or offensive system is. I think it was Octavio Elliot Bevan that was mentioning, the kind of striker that we need and recommends maybe that we need a striker that plays like Joseph, not like these tall strikers. And Octavio echoing that sentiment that I swear it's a Kenwin Jones situation all over again. Domar, I really want to see John finally play that hold up 9 and pass off to a streaking Barco or Pity. I mean, I want all of these things to happen, but ultimately, I just don't know what we're supposed to be doing offensively. As much as I like seeing the ball movement with Barco and Pity whenever they're proving more than capable of doing so, I just don't see a consistent build-up in the run of play that's creating consistent chances on goal that's leading to any positive results. I think it's been, 250 minutes since Atlanta United last scored a goal or something like that? I mean, from a team that was setting goal scoring records just a couple of years ago. I know a large portion of that is obviously going to be the absence of Joseph Martinez, which nobody could foresee or wants to have to deal with. But I just don't know how you resolve that. And I think that's the glaring issue right now with this team, especially coming away from this past week where even a man down, Atlanta United seemed to dominate the possession battle and everything else, but again, just sort of came up short with any real chance creation or goal scoring opportunities.
Yeah, I think to the John comment, we haven't really seen him
right
for a whole game. I can't I'm lost on the games that happened back in March, but we haven't. I mean, we only saw him for a few minutes against the Red Bulls, or like 20 minutes or so, and then we saw him for like 25, 30 minutes against Cincinnati. So I can't really give a opinion on him because we haven't seen him do it. I feel like from the squad that we have, he's probably the best guy in that to put in that position, unless you want to put your faith back in Castro, who, I mean, I give people a lot more rope, because I mean those 100%ers that he had. And then he was like kicking them into his other legs.
I think there was three in that game. Yeah, there was 3. It was pretty bad.
Yeah. So I don't know. Do you see that one performance and then chuck him, or do you?
No.
I mean, he's got to be the guy behind Jan if anything happens to Jan.
No,
John?
Absolutely. I agree, but at the same time, it's like it's a really small sample size, right? Like you're saying,
exactly.
We haven't seen a full game out of John. We haven't seen a real solid performance out of Castro. He's only really had one opportunity so far, but either way, it still leaves a lot of question marks whether those two can get it done.
Yeah, absolutely. What do you think, Tim?
I don't know, man. It's hard to tell. Like Domer brings up a point that Castro was creating chances at least. I mean, he hits one of those, and like we have a completely different perception of who he is as a player, right? I mean, I feel like it was his first game suiting up for us. I think he had kind of an underperforming reputation coming into it too, coming into joining us. That I think people probably, to your point, Dan, giving him less of a rope, and I don't know. I never try to judge players so quickly. I mean, look at Barco. I mean, I think people us included, were pretty not disappointed, but like anyway, like his performances at the beginning are not indicative of the player he is now. And I think Castro, I'm not saying he's a Barco player, but I mean, I think we could probably see him back on the field and doing things for us, but I don't know. I do like what I see from Adam John whenever I see him on the field, because if nothing else, like his hold up play, I feel like he does a good job in that arena, and he gets his head on the ball. I mean, this team is not built for that style of play. I think that's the downfall there. Like I think he's a decent enough target man. I think it's just a matter of like trying to figure out how to play. I don't think this team knows its identity right now. I think that's
absolutely. And I think that.
Yeah, go ahead, Kevin.
I was gonna say, I think that just plays into it, right? Like defensively, we're mixing and matching between Mulroney and Bello, which is with a 3-back. You're like we talked about last week. You're depending so much on that back line shifting and rearranging itself, and taking those players and switching them up. And then the midfield is inconsistent at best at whether or not they're developing play in the midfield or playing long balls forward. And then offensively, who's really creating chances. I mean, we all know how great Barco and Pitti are at moving the ball and taking on players one-on-one. But again, if it doesn't result in a chance on goal, what's it really leading to? Yeah. Did anybody else hope that Brandon Vasquez was going to come in and just slot one home for Atlanta finally?
So last night, I was just looking at some of our past games with Columbus. When we beat them in Columbus 3-2, and Brandon Vasquez got a brace for us, I was thinking, man, he would be kind of nice to have on the squad right now, because he's more mobile than John is.
For sure.
The only thing I would put Castro in over John is because Castro can do more things for us. than John can. Like John is going to be, he needs to be that target man. He can do some hold up play, but Castro can do maybe 65% of that plus be a winger as well.
Castro seems to be much more of a fluid and dynamic player to play off of the strengths of Barco and Pitti because they're moving so much laterally across the field. You need somebody that's going to counteract that and find those holes in space and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's address this real quick so we can get it off the screen. So Mike Conti, to what I was saying earlier, he tweeted this out today. He said, Atlanta United scenarios to advance in the tournament. It's we have to beat Columbus on Tuesday, which is the biggest thing, right? I think everybody in the chat saying that, like Will's like, we have to beat them. We're not going to beat them, blah, blah, blah. New York and Cincinnati can't draw, which I don't. Anyway, math is not my strong suit, guys. Like, I don't understand this stuff. But anyway.
I like that you've got the little GIF at the bottom.
Yeah. Yeah, perfect. So the other scenarios, we need one of the following to happen. LA Galaxy and Houston draw on Thursday. Galaxy beats Houston by 3 or less goals. Vancouver beats Chicago by 2 goals or less on Thursday. Real Salt Lake beats Kansas City by 2 goals or more Wednesday. And Colorado
loses. This makes me sick.
Draws or beats Minnesota by 1 goal on Wednesday. DC and Montreal draw Tuesday. Anyway, there are a lot of scenarios where we can get.
Which one of these do you think's most likely? I'm gonna say C.
So we can have any one of these, Tim?
Pick one. Yeah, any one of them. We have to win, obviously. And Red Bulls and Cincy can't draw, which I don't see happening. I think Vancouver beats Chicago by 2 goals or less Thursday would be my bet.
I don't know. I'm not putting any faith in Vancouver. However, that's one of the you're
going to put it in Chicago?
That's one of the easier ones to remember. Well, Vancouver got whacked by was it San Jose yesterday? Was it
not really whacked, right? It was no, that was Seattle.
Oh, Seattle.
Right? And Seattle beat Vancouver.
Vancouver got beat bad last night. Galaxy beats Houston by 3 goals or less. Oh, that's
I like that. I think that's A or B, I think, is what I would put my money on if we were to advance, if this is one of the things. Like, again, we have to beat Columbus. New York has to beat Cincinnati, or Cincinnati has to beat New York. And it makes sense. Kendrick was saying we get a max of 3 points, and if NYCFC and Cincinnati draw, they both have 4. So that one of them, they both bump us down.
Yeah. So. I can see B definitely happening. I mean, that's a pretty high goal margin. All they have to do is beat Houston by 3 goals or less on Thursday. That's not bad. Granted, Galaxy has had a pretty bad run at this, just like we have, which is another interesting thing to see is the teams that are sitting at the bottom of their groups right now. NYCFC in the bottom of their group, Atlanta United in the bottom of theirs, Galaxy at the bottom of theirs. Yeah, some teams that you would expect to see maybe doing a little bit better. Maybe not NYCFC as of late. I think the more shocking thing is who's at the top of some of these groups, a la Orlando City, as much as I hate to see it.
And San Jose, right?
Yeah.
So
no, Kevin, get closer to the camera.
I think that, what was it, E? I think Montreal and DC could draw.
Yeah.
So as long as we'd have to score at least 3 or 4 goals against Columbus. So that'll work. That's not going to work. Never mind. They're going to draw. That's all I was going for.
Yeah. No.
Oh, it's ridiculous how much. I don't think that we're going to be going through. But to be honest with you, I think some headline was like Atlanta United has the first time, if not expectations, but something along those lines was going to happen at some point in time. So if it happens right now, then in the position we are in, then I'm fine. So, but then I don't want to happen again.
So a couple of things Dirty Bird person has spouted off in the trap is one could argue if these games are going to count, then do we even really want to advance at this point, given our condition, and we can at least add damn by not advancing. And then the other points he makes to that are a win. Where was it? I agree we need to win, but actually advancing might be to our detriment. We win, but don't advance. Is it terrible, all things considered?
So not advancing so we can have more time training with our new signing?
Right. We get Jurgen Damm because, I mean, to his point, we get 3 points tomorrow that goes towards our season total. Everything after that does not. So, I mean,
and then you're just risking injury
for, Abuela's dinner plate. So I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, providing we choose to train. I mean, if we go out tomorrow,
surely that's going to be taking place, right? Like, I can't imagine.
I mean, I would assume so, but I could also see them taking 2 weeks off and then coming back in 2 weeks.
Well, the problem is nobody knows what the regular season is going to look like after the tournament, right?
Exactly. Right. So why, if the season's going to be canceled, I just don't know what I'm just assuming that we would train. I mean, I want us to train. I want us to get as many minutes as we can with our guys. It'd be great to set up friendlies, within, if you can, who's close to us? Nashville's close to us, but they, maybe get some USL friendlies going on, or I don't know. It's kind of like you want to set.
Can you play against Atlanta United too?
I mean, you can, but I mean, it's not none of them are going to count. It's just going to be friendly. So, but it's kind of like with their kids now. A lot of parents are like looking to get teachers and going with other families, but it's kind of like you've got to set up your own tournament sort of thing.
Oh man, Domer brings out a good point that I hate to admit, and I wanted to make sure that we mentioned is it's the same situation that we had at the beginning of last season, right? Like, we come in off of a long break. Yeah, we come in after a long break. Our primary, our main DP is injured, and now everyone's back on the DeBoer out train with 2 losses. It's just, I mean, come on, man. I don't get it. I really don't. But Domer's point, our struggle's really showing how many shitty fans we have. I couldn't agree more. It's a little bit of a bleak scenario where people are very quick to point out the flaws in things rather than the benefits in things. And, I'm not saying that we're getting all the necessary results, but I definitely see a positive trajectory with the team. And looking at last year compared to this year, and obviously the struggles are under completely different circumstances, I think that there are certain things that this team has figured out now at this point in time that they definitely did not have figured out last year at this time. Particularly look at our left back situation this year compared to last year. Mm-hmm. And I mean, we're talking about Mulroney's not a bad player. Yeah, he had a really terrible showing last week. You could argue that cost Atlanta United a chance at that game. However, I don't think that he's a bad player under any stretch of the imagination, and certainly not in that position and that role that he's been asked to play it. Same goes for George Bello. I mean, I think both of those players add a lot to not just the defensive side of the ball, but the offensive side of the ball on the left side that we did not really have consistently last year. So it's a solid foundation to build from. Same thing can be said for Barco and Pitti. I'll let you guys mention.
Sure. I mean, the left back thing, Bello was the plan for last year. Mm-hmm. But injuries. But yeah, I guess Mulroney's a good backup, a good left wing backs, I guess. I just haven't seen much. It's difficult to make an assumption with this. Tim, what do you think about left back?
Left back? I feel fine about it. I feel fine about our wing back. Like our back line, I feel like I like that back line. I especially seeing Meza and Robinson playing back there together. It's hard for me not to just throw everything away right now because this start and stop and the pandemic and it's making things hard to actually judge who is valuable to the team, whether or not we are improving, because there's no real measuring stick right now. I mean,
but how good does it feel to feel a loss, to just remind you that you're alive right now?
To your point, Tim, I like the squad. I like our players. Recency bias is saying I'm annoyed with Mulroney. I think he's potentially one of the weaker links. But part of me, and I think they're a decent MLS side. I think a downfall, sorry, insulin pump problems. My downfall
Feed that Tamagotchi.
is that we are playing a very complicated system in a 3-4-3, and Frank de Boer likes his players to think on their feet during the game, so they can make decisions themselves and own it. So his system is more like a framework. So it's a complicated system, and part of me worries that the system is too complicated, or for it to be effective in MLS, we're not going to have the quality enough players because of salary cap rules in order to see it in its fully operational mothership form.
It's almost like it's honestly like if you try to implement the Barcelona system, like trying to get high schoolers to play out of the back. Like you don't have, is that what you're essentially saying? This system may be too complicated for the quality of players that were allowed in MLS.
And yeah, and also the environment of MLS, talking about quality of referees, just in general. It just may be, this may be, so here's the other thing. Frank de Boer just may be ahead of his time. Maybe in 10 years' time, everyone's doing this, and, this would have been what Atlanta United should do. It's almost like you kind of got to play down to the competition. That's all the best teams. That's a really great Atlanta United fan comment, I feel like, because everyone thinks we're arrogant. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's interesting, right? Because I know you were saying that kind of tongue in cheek, but I mean, right now, all the best teams play a 4-4-3, right? Or 4-3-3, sorry. 4-4-3 would be probably, would make you pretty good. Having an extra man on the pitch. But I mean, 4-3-3 is in vogue right now. And you're right. I mean, not a lot of teams do play a 3-4-3. You're not seeing a lot of 3 at the back. I mean, in actuality, I would say we really have 5 in the back. But
well, and you would assume that playing a 3-4-3, it puts you in a better position in the league as a result of that, right? And that's where I think some of the frustration on my end comes, is that, especially with the absence of Nagbe, where it's become blatantly obvious that overloading that midfield with the positions and the players that you have available without somebody that's able to move the ball comfortably and take on one-on-one positions, that whole system kind of falls apart. You've got all the extra players there, but you're not really doing anything to move the ball on a consistent basis.
Yeah, it's definitely frustrating to watch. And I don't know. Like one thing that just popped into my mind was like how hard it would be to play soccer against non-soccer playing people in pickup games.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Like, I have that problem all the time.
There's this guy. His name was Waylon Carlisle Harley. The best name ever. He would play pickup with us, and he played left. He was left-footed. He was a very he's like, maybe, I think he played in high school, like a smaller team. He would stop all the best people because like everybody would expect like a normal defender going up against the normal defender. But I don't know. It's just playing down to your competition or just getting thrown off guard by.
And also Brian's point, I think we're ignoring the layoff and lack of competition for 4 months and basically 0 time integrating Joseto and Castro and losing Joseph. Why would expectations be high considering all these problems? Because it's Atlanta United. I think that's all. I mean, that's the only answer, is that expectations are high just based on what the bar has been set at for this team. And even though those key figures that have been added or removed, it's no denying that fact. You do have a lot of returning pieces to that formula that you expect to maybe see have a different impact or a better impact on the game.
Yeah, I feel like I understand where a lot of people's frustrations, especially so. Let's say you were just never into soccer, and then Atlanta United came along, and you were like, "Oh, well, now I'm into soccer." You've been shown this absolutely beautiful product that is fascinating and it's exciting. You know, every time Almiron would get on the ball, it was just like some sort of energy that you would be like, "Yeah, look at him go." It was just great. And when you hit that first real wall of adversity, then, it's frustrating because you haven't experienced it, in that sport that you've seen your team be so untouchable. But
I like what Michelle says. She says, I hate the FTB out train. At some point, the players have to play, in my humble opinion.
Yeah, I mean I'm here for the long haul.
Not everything, yeah.
Right? I mean, you would hope that the majority of people are here for the long haul, and people are going to voice their concerns, maybe however misguided they may be. But I don't think Frank DeBoer is the problem right now, or to blame for Atlanta United's results by any stretch.
It's just the sample size is too small. Now
if we're 2 seasons in and continuing to find ourselves in this position, that's one thing. But
yeah, so we were spoiled under Tata. I mean, we would on the regular win 3-1. There were so many games where we would just score 3 goals in. It was ridiculous.
Yeah,
and now it's like we're looking for a more mature, game plan and development of player, because our business plan is to make these players excellent so we can sell them for a profit. That is the business plan that keeps this team solvent. So, and that's, I believe, one of the reasons we went with Frank DeBoer. So
that was the whole conversation, right? We're not looking at a 2 or 3 year plan. We're looking at a 5, 10, 15 year plan.
Right. Or yeah, exactly. Something along those lines. But it's you at the same time you want to see beautiful soccer. And
right.
Goes back to my earlier point. I worry that the majority of the players we have are not going to be able to do what we want in that system.
Yeah.
Is anyone giving Yap Stam any credit? I mean, everyone was blasting him for sitting back with 10.
I don't know.
Being upper man, and then what does he go and do? He zigs when everyone wants him to zag.
Yeah. Somebody said something about the tactical brilliance of Cincinnati or something like that. I saw that on Twitter of Cincinnati's dismantling of Atlanta United. It's like they sat back, even being a man up the entire game.
Yeah. I think it was the AJC title. Atlanta United stunned by Cincinnati. We weren't really stunned. We were kind of just irritated.
Yeah. Even watching the match, it was ESPN, right? It was ESPN. Yeah, I was going to say Taylor Twellman, I think, was the one that was pointing that out. Is like after Mulroney was like, he's like, look, I'm counting like 9 players back behind the line. Like what?
Yeah, it's pretty abysmal.
I can't name a time in the past 4 years that we've ever been able to beat anybody whenever we get the bus parked against us.
Yeah. Like, how many times have we seen us rain in crosses for nothing?
Oh,
I mean, that happened against Toronto, but it's happened a whole bunch of times. Actually, it happened when Martino was the manager. We would get bunkered against, and we'd just throw in cross after cross after cross, and we wouldn't get anywhere.
So what do you guys think solves Atlanta's problems right now as far as goal creation? Because ultimately Atlanta has to win, and the only way you do that is by scoring goals. Who and how does that happen right now with what you've seen? Again, small sample size, but if you had to take your best guess right now going into the game tomorrow night, who do you put in? How do you attack Columbus?
I'm not. I feel like the players that we've played over the past 2 games can get the job done. Obviously, I want Bello on the left wing. I'd still go with the 3-4-3.
Well, you don't have a choice because Mulroney's out.
Right, exactly.
Mike Ambrose down in Miami.
That kind of helps us. I think Rob Usprey put a good lineup out that I gravitated towards. I think he had Castro on the wing, Jan starting, and then he had Pitti on the right, and then Barco was in the middle, along with Jeff, Rometti, Bello on the left wing, and I can't remember who got on the right. But then we had a back three of Mason Robinson and Escobar. So you've taken Lennon out, which I didn't like because I want a way to get Lennon in the game. I've been really impressed with him. But then he's a good, you've always got him on the bench as a sub. Having these 5 substitutions has been, I think it's kind of helpful in that regard. So
his pace is pretty impactful too, to the point where you bring him in late into a game, it would be it would be a nice injection of energy back into the game.
Absolutely. So that's kind of like what I would go with. Same setup of players, but I'd be railing them, saying, guys, where's your confidence?
You got nothing to lose right now. That's the thing that I think Atlanta has in its favor, is that this team has nothing to lose going into tomorrow night, and that's maybe the best thing that they have going for them, is that they can do whatever the hell they want and see what happens.
Yeah, I feel like that is a good thing for us. That's why I feel kind of quietly confident about Columbus. Now, yes, they have been one of the best teams at the tournament, I think.
But so is Orlando, and so is San Jose. Down is up right now. Left is right.
But
COVID-19.
Yeah, but they've been a lot more competent.
Shit is getting real.
They've been a lot more competent than San Jose. San Jose are just it is
the most fun team in soccer to ever watch. Probably,
absolutely,
yes.
Absolutely. But Columbus, Columbus are not going to sit back. Columbus are they want to play. They want to take it to you. And we played better against those teams.
That's in a game that's not a monsoon, like every game we had against them last year.
Right, exactly. Even though they swept us last year in our own house.
In water polo.
So part of me feels confident about Columbus. I understand over the results that we've had in the past 2 games would put us they put us not in the best light. But everyone was saying how much we're going to beat Cincinnati by, and then look what happens. So that's part of it. You don't really know what's going to happen until the game is played. So
who's going to score the goals?
Another aspect to it. Alec Khan and no, I think Barco
not the right types of goals.
I think I'm going to put Barco and Escobar getting the goal.
I want to do a shout out. Speaking of Alec Khan, shout out to our buddy Joe Johnstone, who I forget whose live broadcast it was talking about who do you think is in the lineup, and he goes in there and just starts trolling and goes, but seriously, Ken or Guzan? And everyone's just like, Guzan, what are you talking about? Why are you mentioning this right now? Of course it's Guzan.
And then Josh Pagriansky, our buddy from Mouse of the South, called him Guzman and on Twitter the other day.
Yes.
It lives on.
Was that in between cooking fish sticks with old Eric Lagasse, or
Eric Lagasse? Oh, good.
I'm good. I'm glad that Eric's branching out with his food. But yeah,
he comes on with us and talks all this shit about soccer down here and how they won't play whenever he starts giving them shit. And then I tweet at those guys and crickets. You guys know who's here for the people. Look at that Spam, egg, and cheese biscuit sandwich that I had for breakfast this
Kevin,
morning.
I will say that sandwich was fucking beautiful. I mean, it was. I love pimento cheese, especially on meat.
Oh yeah,
you put pimento cheese and some of those Wickles pickles on a burger.
Yep.
Dude.
Actually, it's the I've got another one. I'll have to send you a picture of it. I've been on another one. It's called Devil's Spit. They're like spicy bread and butter pickles. Real good.
Really?
But yeah.
Famous Dave's?
Yeah, Famous Dave's.
Pickles?
Yeah. The black label, though. The black label are really spicy. The red ones are just kind of meh. But yeah, the black label are really good.
I got the black label barbecue sauce from Famous Dave's. And it's weird. It has like this kind of
pickle flavor to it.
Cinnamony taste to it, yeah. Anyway,
but yeah, no, the black label pickles are really good. But yeah, this is straight from the trailer park this morning for breakfast.
Yeah, we got some late additions to the trap. Stephen Perales and Tony Neitzel. Thanks for joining us, guys. Appreciate you.
Can I? So, I don't think I've talked to you about this. I don't know if you guys have officially talked about it. Okay. No, man, I'm going under the knife.
Going for a starting 11.
Snip, snap.
That's right. You don't understand the toll. 2 reverse vasectomies take on a man. So Brittany in the trap said Gressel or too soon. Have you guys talked about what you think the impact Gressel would have had right now to this team?
Oh yeah, I think he would put in like 40 crosses that didn't go to anybody the last week.
Right.
Well, especially with Joseph, I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference, right? Like, I mean, Gressel's success was largely contingent on Joseph's presence. I mean, I'm not saying that Gressel's a bad player, but I think so much of his success was grounded in the fact that Joseph was there to capitalize on it.
Yeah, I totally agree. I don't think Gressel's a bad player at all. I think he's a great player. I'm still don't like seeing him in DC United shirt. But I agree that he would be slamming in crosses. And this has happened before. But I've been more impressed with, in small sample size, with Brooks Lennon's defensive rate. I think Brooks Lennon is a fitter player than Gressel. I don't think he does the cross just like Gressel. I do agree with was it Taylor Twom? I think Gressel is one of the best crossers in MLS. But I prefer the energy that Lennon has brought us right now. So,
yeah. How about Pitty's divot that he left on the field?
I mean, I feel it just happens sometimes, regardless of how.
It was his off foot. It's fine.
It does.
I remember I may have said this story once before, but when I was learning to drive back in England, I was 17 or something.
Was this like 2 kids ago?
2 or 3. I went to a friend's house and we all got drunk the night before.
Oh, sweet. You went driving. Great story, Dan.
So I'm glad. This was actually the lead up to the first kid.
Yes. And so what happened was the next day, I was a little bit hungover, but my driving instructor picked me up and it's like, okay, well, let's have your driving lesson. I was like, okay, great. And it was awful. It was terrible. Like, it was the worst driving lesson I've ever had because my driving was terrible.
And the thing is, I knew it was terrible. Side of the road.
Right. But I knew it was terrible. I knew it was bad. And I feel like Atlanta United knows that it was bad. So I think it's better that it was bad rather than you just going ahead and saying, okay, well, stuff happened. It wasn't that bad,
Yeah. But the question is, does Atlanta United get somebody to take a hold of the steering wheel or just keep flooring it and seeing if something ever happens?
We can't let it get below 55 miles an hour. I've learned that. It doesn't matter who's driving it.
Exactly.
That's true.
Yeah. I don't. It's frustrating, because I just keep saying it, but I don't know what to take from this season or whatever this is, or it doesn't make sense and it's stupid and I hate it. And
it only matters if Orlando wins, right?
They're drawing 0-0 right now to Philly, which is good. At least.
So what do you think, Tim? Who scores? How does Atlanta get back on track, offensively speaking? I mean, unless I'm wrong here, do you guys agree that that's Atlanta's biggest problem right now is who and how they're scoring?
Oh yeah, for sure. Because without Jake Mulroney getting sent off against Cincinnati, I don't think we let in a goal, right? Yeah. I don't think defensively we've been very bad, yeah. and I think Brian pointed it out against New York Red Bulls.
That was our game to take.
We were in that game for a lot. Like it sucked because we let that goal in 4 minutes in, but after that, I felt like it was very competitive.
Statistically, I think Atlanta won that game. They won the possession battle. They won shot, XG, all that shit. So I completely agree.
Yeah. I agree. I feel like it's just unfortunate that, it's a small sample size, and at the end of the game tomorrow, we'll probably be going home.
Yeah, probably so. Well, we won't go home tomorrow, right? We have to stick around. Aren't Nashville and Dallas still there?
Oh, really? Why?
I thought I saw somebody say that.
They're just I don't think that's true, because then you're just racking up expenses, and that doesn't make any sense.
Nashville still has better odds than Cincinnati.
Yeah. $65 pastrami sandwich or whatever it was that Omar Gonzalez was posting pictures.
Yeah. How much do you love Franco Escobar's hair? I freaking love it. I think it looks awesome.
Yeah, what do you think? That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get.
Oh, I thought you were trying to join the White Stripes.
No. What about Barco's sleeve that he got? Anybody notice that?
I didn't see it.
He's got a whole sleeve now.
I'm sure it's nice.
He got a sleeve in COVID.
He's got a COVID sleeve?
Yeah.
It's just nothing but coronavirus tattoos.
Exactly. He's just walking around, just slapping people on the back of the neck.
Hey, sorry. Elliot Bevan said, still think that yellow card was bull. Which yellow card? Barco's yellow card? I'm assuming so. Because I thought it was kind of garbage too. It's like what's his name? Deplane,
boss.
Get into plane.
Are you quoting Treasure Island?
Yeah, Deplane should have gone off. I can't remember.
No, Frankie Amaya should have been sent off, right?
Yes.
He should have been sent off well before he scored that worldie against.
Which that was just a hell of a goal. You got to give it to him.
Yeah, who was that foul on? Amaya's foul. It was a dirty foul. It was ridiculous that he didn't.
It was against Barco.
Got a card. Wasn't it? It was against Barco. Yeah.
I thought it was against Barco. I may be wrong.
It was just, inconsistent referees. What you gonna do? But he was his second game in MLS or something. It was fourth game.
Yeah. So Dummer brings up a point. He said, wonder what the Canadian teams will do after the tourney. He said, Canada won't let the Blue Jays play any home games after playing in the U.S.
Come to Atlanta and play in the Atlanta United tournament.
Well, the problem is that state to state, there's different regulations, right? I mean, New York requiring people traveling from certain states to self-quarantine for a certain number of, how does that cross-pollination in between states going to work, much less country to country, That's why they're in a bubble. Right now.
Right. That's the only way they've been able to play any games.
Do you think Bello maybe – so back to the Bello point. I wanted to bring this up. Is there any chance he snuck out of the bubble when tried to get Olive Garden like that guy in the NBA did?
Do you know?
There's a guy. Wasn't there a guy who got suspended from his team got sent home for trying to go and get Olive Garden takeout? You make millions of dollars.
If you're gonna get anything, why would you get Olive Garden?
Why wouldn't you get Checkers? They're not going to narc you out.
Or Popeyes.
So, ever since how long have I been here? I think I've been in the States 15 years. I've never set foot in an Olive Garden. I refuse to.
What?
Yeah.
Endless pasta and breadsticks, dude. Come on.
Endless pasta
endless carbs on carbs. No thanks.
Yeah. Or you just do like my dad did.
Is that how that works?
Like my dad did, and just go order a whole box of spaghetti noodles plain with bratwurst on top.
Is that where he sticks the noodles through the bratwurst?
Yeah, I wish.
Those look like pasta centipedes. Just pasta centipedes.
Michelle, it's past 9:00. It's time for this.
That's what I'm gonna do with my next spamwich.
I agree,
put
Joe.
Pasta through it.
It's not
You're
fucking
fancy.
pasta. Once
You're
you've had
fancy.
homemade pasta, it's just not the same.
Kevin's fancy. I will say you're eating spam when the real struggle meat is treat.
We all know what the struggle meat is. We all know, Tim.
You graduated from treat to spam. I am proud of you, boy.
Not only spam, but the low sodium. I'm upper echelon spam level right now.
So go back to the Bello thing. Are there rumors out there?
Why would you want to get
No.
us back on topic, Tim? No, or Dan? No, we're done with real conversation. It's after 9:00.
All right, how do I close you two out of this podcast? Are there rumors going around that Bello did that? Or
No.
Okay.
I just like my brain going because he's granted we didn't see Joseto didn't play at all, right? He didn't get put into the game at all after. I would think he was a staple. I don't know if he was getting rest too, but to think he was at least in the 23.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that you have 23 on the bench and I mean you have Lawrence Wyke on the bench. Like I like Wyke, but like you don't put Bello on there just in case.
It's bizarre. I don't know.
It's very bizarre. It doesn't make sense.
How do you boot people from the live stream? Do you know?
Oh, you can. Can we put him in timeout? Yeah, I can put Domer in timeout.
Oh, please do. Can you?
Oh shit! I don't know how to. Oh no! I didn't know I blocked him for 5 minutes. I'm sorry, Domer.
That's what you deserve.
It's
Coming
Kevin's
in here
fault.
with that Scotch is better than bourbon. Get out of here. This is America. How dare you? How dare you?
It won't let me unblock you, Domer. I'm sorry. I didn't know that's what that did. I thought I could maybe put like a 30 second.
Can you say
that's
Brian's
so
comment? Shit, Dan.
Oh, it's so great.
Oh, Domer, don't hate me. I'm sorry.
So, Kevin, have you tried that?
You are such a fascist.
Have you tried that malt Woodford Reserve?
No, I am not a big fan of malted grain at all.
What about
It's not
you?
bad.
Don't like not even Maltesers or Whoppers? You don't like
Oh, I
those
love
either?
Maltesers and Whoppers.
Oh yeah, like a cream pie shake. Just put
Yeah.
a bunch of bourbon
Dan.
whoppers in the blender.
Dan, what is?
That's a great idea.
See where the night takes me.
It's like you pop the top, like whenever you're emulsifying in a blender with olive oil, but you're doing it with bourbon with Whoppers.
Why has no one done that?
Put an egg in it.
Oh,
God. Dan, what is your McVitie's of choice? Is it chocolate McVitie's? The digestives?
so wait, are you talking digestives or hobnobs?
Digestives.
Bollocks.
So I was more of a rich tea man. And then when you get the chocolate covered rich teas, they're good. But then they made hobnobs with like a caramel filling in the hobnob with chocolate on, and that was
What are the
diabetic-alicious.
What are the ones that are like? They're kind of like a sponge cake, but they're like the shape
Jaffa
of
cakes.
Yeah, with the
Jaffa
orange, like the orange jelly and the
Yeah,
dark.
you can eat a tube of those in like
Like
5
a fucking
minutes.
wood chipper. Just
Yeah, wood chipper. Yes.
Oh,
What are they?
So they're like these. It's like a firm sponge, and
yeah,
they're like the size of a cookie.
yeah. It's like that big,
And then it's got like this disc of orange jelly, and then
And
it's
then
covered
dark
in chocolate.
oh,
And
so good.
you can just like a wood chipper. I don't think you can get a better expression than that. Like
Okay.
a wood chipper.
So Brittany S is asking for Whoppers, BK or chocolate, Burger King or chocolate Whoppers.
Anybody else get that sponsored ad of spend $15 at Burger King, get a free Whopper, and say challenge accepted?
Oh, Okay, so would you take McVitie's? Would you take like a chocolate?
You guys ever go get the onion rings from Burger King? Just make your own infinity gauntlet as you put them on all. Just snap your own life out of existence.
My heart.
So I remember people back home used to go to McDonald's and get a vanilla milkshake and dip their French fries in it.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Is that kind of just old hat over here?
Or Frosty?
Yeah, it's like Frosties at Wendy's, because that was the only thing that would make the Wendy's old French fries edible to me.
What about getting the ketchup from McDonald's or Burger King and squeezing like 4 packets out and then pouring salt into the ketchup, mixing it up, and then eating your French fries with that?
I put pepper on top of the ketchup.
Oh, really?
Also, the pro move was to get like a drink lid and just put all your ketchup in that instead of like having 30 different little
right.
ketchup, little ketchup shot glasses on your tray.
This is great. So why did Castillo get subbed? I thought he was a pretty good attacking threat when he came on, and then
oh my god! I remember why we haven't had you on in so long.
It's brain breaks if we don't talk about soccer for a certain amount of time.
Notebook in a second.
Is Domer out of jail yet? I'm surprised I don't see a burner account from Domer in the trap. It's Kevin's fault. I'm surprised I don't have a text from him yet.
Oh my god. That's amazing. All right. So what's the first thing you're going to do whenever COVID bans get lifted?
I'm gonna have a massive party. Get one of those game trucks.
Have another kid.
Well, I don't need COVID to end for that to happen to him.
Celebrate with a pack of twins.
I might take up smoking again. That's a good idea.
Domer texted us. He said, "I'm still typing. Never stop."
Can't stop. Won't stop.
He's just gonna start flooding us with all of his cute messages.
Oh man, that's pretty great.
Gonna have a big party, get all our friends, my kids' friends over. So there's gonna be like 1,000 people in my house.
Oh, cool! So you're turning your house into a peach dish because it's
right? Well, right. I mean, that's not what we're doing.
Atlanta, right?
Probably have a bourbon tasting. Be great.
I fucking hate you.
Domer, Buck Lemson. That's awesome. Hey, can you see this? Can you see this Atlanta sign? Oh my gosh. So my brother made that. Go to Instagram, Signs of Doom. That is his name. Check it out. He's awesome.
Tag 3 friends. Make sure you're following them.
That's right.
They'll give it away next week, right?
That's right. Signs of Doom.
Got it. Oh.
All right. What are you going to do when Orlando wins this tournament?
Maybe they'll have a cup to go with their dinner plate. Couple more years, they might have a whole dinner set. Orlando's secretly just trying to get a whole place setting so somebody will want to come to dinner with them.
Right. It would be funny if the trophy to this is a plate, because that's not really a trophy, I feel like.
I hope it's a
fork. Like the Community Shield? Community Shield's a plate, right?
Or spoon.
Probably, yeah. So is Nagby injured? He was pulled off apparently because he had like a pull or something.
Yeah, I think Michelle was mentioning that.
That would be fine line, but it would be great if we didn't have to deal with Nagby. That's all I'm going to say.
You see this Nagby's heat map from the last game?
Yeah, I mean,
that's pretty great.
God, I miss that guy. He was so awesome.
Yeah,
I remember like people, we would just talk about Nagby, and I still couldn't believe he was on our team. It was such an amazing signing when we got him. I just thought it was so cool. But that's the way.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if he's going to be in tomorrow or not. I don't know that it's been released. I guess we won't know until lineups come out, right?
It's generally how it works.
Score predictions, bitches. What you got?
0-0.
Oh. What if I went with like a 1-0 Atlanta United win?
2-0 Atlanta United win. Let's go.
You guys are so brave.
I am brave. All right, so what we got? Doma's going 1-1. I guess he's out of jail now. Good job, Doma. 1-0 Columbus, Anthony Neitzel. 10-0 Atlanta, Richard Gordon. That's what I'm talking about. 10-0. 10-0.
Ooh, Elliot Beeman. Atlanta wins. Who's in hat trick?
We play him up front just for his height. He's just playing handball, just whipping him into the goal.
Dirty Bird person, we shock them 4-1. Yeah, shock, stun.
Michelle says 4-3 U.S. men's national team. Columbus, right? Because of Nagbe and Zardes and.
I think she means Brian's abstaining. Barco in excellent. Good job, Doma. Yeah.
I'm gonna say 2-0.
Cannon goal goes in up front. I love it. I want to see that so badly. That's like I use my keeper to take all my penalties in FIFA. So I want to see that start happening.
I think Guzan is taller than Jan and has a bigger dome, bigger target. So
less friction too, right?
Less friction. We'll probably just start. We'll probably not dress Bello and not dress Barco, and then have 3 keepers dress. I think that'd be.
Yeah.
Who do you think has the best performance and worst?
Guzan and Pity, Thunder Lightning. Yeah.
Best performance, worst performance. That's a new one I want to start doing. Who do you think has the best performance this game, and who has the worst performance?
Barco.
That's best.
I think he has the. I think
it's like you might as well have just said yes.
I don't.
Barco has best performance. Who has worst performance then, Dad?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I just broke my headphones. I think Barco has the best performance and worst performance. Can I say Nagbe, or does it have to be Atlanta United player?
Oh, Atlanta United player. Hey, go answer the door. Somebody's there.
Man, I'm gonna say someone like Remedi.
Okay, Tim.
Best performance, PD. Worst performance. Yeah, probably whoever's in center mid. One of our center midfielders.
Best performance, Guzan. Worst performance.
So oh, really? Yeah. So that would mean Guzan has been our best player through 3 matches, Kevin.
Worst Bello, says Domer. Brian said Lennon. I don't know if that's best or worst. Domer said best Pity. Let's see here. What else? Worst Emerson, best Pity by Elliot Bevan. Michelle, best worst Pity. So yeah, she took your answer for Barco basically. Yes, best and worst would be Pity.
Dirty Bird person, Pity looks amazing in the analytics, but all the highlights are him falling on his face. It's media, man. Fake news.
Fake.
Media is.
You really are American, man. I'm really glad you're here.
Media is just saying whatever they want to say rather than what's actually happening.
Dan Murdoch over here.
Yeah. Dan Bannon.
No. Dannon.
Dannon, yeah. Yeah, that's a good point, Michelle. Escobar shows up when the heat is on. He certainly did in the 2018 championship. winning.
Just tell them it's the playoffs.
Game. Yep.
Yeah.
Sorry, Michelle. I'm just winding you up, Michelle. Don't worry about it.
All right. Anything else tonight, boys?
You guys need to get TikTok ring lights for your video setup.
Obviously.
Tim Tom lights.
Actually, this is one softbox light. I have 2 more if you guys want them.
Sure. Yeah.
Send you guys a setup.
Yeah. Well, I was supposed to have a downlight here, but I haven't put it in yet.
I'm just happy to see you guys in any kind of lighting. I'm glad we could do this.
Likewise. Can I come on again next week, guys, or is this just a one-time deal and now you're free?
We'll leave it up to the group to decide.
Or we can get up to 6 people in here on the free account. Okay. Why the fuck did we ever pay for this?
You paid for this?
Yeah, so we could stream it to Twitter at the same time, I guess.
It does a multi-stream, so it would go out to Periscope and stuff, which sucks because Periscope, we would get people that would watch it on there because you kind of just get it as you log on to Twitter, which is fun. But anyway.
I found, just in case anybody doesn't know this, and I'm probably the only person who has just cottoned onto this, but when you watch games on Twitter, they have something called theater mode, which you can hide all the comments and the stupid hearts popping up all the time.
Yeah.
I didn't know it. Just trying to help out some other people who probably already know.
Dirty Bird person, I agree. Dupe still slaps.
Yeah, they're really good. I'm liking Philly a lot. I'm liking Philly, Columbus. I think that's about it.
Dupe is a bop.
Dupe is a bop. All right. So where can the people find you guys? Dan?
You can find me at DNJMS, playing Last of Us Part 2 on PlayStation, which is
how is it?
Vastly superior than all the other gaming systems. It's amazing. Love it. Great game.
Tim, what about you?
Find me at Tim Herb, I guess, on Instagram.
Cool. Find me as well at The Architect. That's at the_ARC1TECT. Collectively at Home Before Dark. That's before spelled B and the number 4. We'll be back next week. We don't know who will be in the chair. Will Dan make it back? You'll have to tune in to find out. As always, wear a mask.
Well,
let's unionize the crew.